How do you stand firm in spiritual warfare? Now, I'm going to tell you the answer straight away. The answer is praying. If you don't pray, there's no way that you can overcome the enemy. There's no way you're going to be able to stand against the wiles of the devil unless you're in prayer. Because what a lot of us as believers don't understand is that when it speaks about the armor of God and putting the armor of God on, you can only put the armor of God on through prayer. You don't just automatically have it on. No, you have to be praying. If you're not praying, you haven't got the word. You are not clothed with the armor of God. Also, if you want to stand when it comes to spiritual warfare, you have to be praying, and you have to have the word in your heart. You have to have scriptures and verses in your mind and committed to your memory, and have the word of God committed into your heart. So when the enemy comes up against you and fires a fiery dart, a lie at you, you have the equivalent word to quench that dart, to put the enemy to shame. This is what happened with Christ. When Christ was in the wilderness and the enemy was tempting him in the book of Matthew chapter 4 and Luke chapter 4, and in Mark and Luke chapter 4, Matthew and Luke chapter 4, he was being tempted. But the thing is, every temptation that came, Jesus Christ had a word. He had a word from God to quench that lie, to deal with that lie, to deal with the enemy on every single level. And we know that Jesus was a prayerful person. He was a man who fasted, because you can't fast for 40 days without actually being a person of fasting and build yourself up to that. But that's another conversation for another day. But what I'm saying is that for us to be able to win and stand when it comes to spiritual warfare, you have to be praying. If you're not praying, you're losing. Let me say it again. If you're not praying, you're losing. If you're not reading the Bible, then you're not going to have enough substance inside of you to repel the enemy. So if you want to win every spiritual battle, you have to be praying.